The most strategically terrifying weapon the gods ever created did not throw lightning. It did not split the ocean floor. It made you disappear. 3 weapons, 1 war. One of them has been buried under 2,000 years of wrong assumptions. The Titans ruled everything. For 10 years, Zeus and his siblings fought them in a war so violent it physically reshaped the world. Mountains were thrown like weapons. The sky cracked. The sea boiled. This was the Titanomachy. The war had dragged on for 10 brutal years, and Zeus needed something that could finally break the stalemate. And the odds were not good. The Titans had every physical advantage. Older, larger, stronger. In a straight fight, pure force against pure force, the Titans win. Every time. Zeus needed an edge. He found it underground. The Cyclopes, not the dumb cave monsters from later stories. In Hesiod's Theogony, written around 700 BCE, they were the greatest weapon makers who ever existed. The Titans had imprisoned them in Tartarus for generations. Zeus freed them. In return, they built 3 weapons, 1 per brother, the ultimate endgame loadout in a cosmic war. Slot 1, the Master Bolt, Zeus. Pure, overwhelming DPS, the kind of weapon that ends fights in 1 hit. Slot 2, the Trident, Poseidon, the crowd control weapon. Strike the ground, earthquakes, slam the ocean, tsunamis, the battlefield bends to it. Slot 3, the Helm of Darkness, Hades, no fire, no thunder, no earthquakes, just invisibility. On the surface, that sounds like a downgrade. Zeus gets lightning. Poseidon sinks continents. Hades gets a hat. But here is what everyone who thinks that has missed. In any war, in any strategic conflict ever devised, the most dangerous thing on a battlefield is the thing you cannot find. Lightning wins by force. The trident overwhelms by scale. The helm wins by denying the enemy information. The helm turns you into the kind of threat most enemies never get a chance to counter. No position, no warning, no counter. This was not the consolation prize. This was a stealth cloaking device in a universe that had never seen one before. And this was not just invisibility against mortals. In myth, the helm could conceal its wearer even from other divine beings, which is what made it terrifying. The ancient texts don't give us a play-by-play, but imagine what that kind of weapon does to an army. He walked straight into Titan camps, invisible, silent. He scouted their lines, listened to their war councils, and systematically dismantled their ability to feel safe. Supplies vanished. Orders never arrived. Soldiers disappeared without explanation. Imagine being a Titan soldier, enormous, powerful, battle-hardened, and the warrior next to you simply ceases to exist between one breath and the next. No sound, no struggle, just gone, and it keeps happening, and nobody can explain it. That is not a military campaign. That is a haunting. Hades broke the Titans mentally before Zeus broke them physically. The bolt ended the war, but the helm made the ending possible. Now, what was this thing actually? What Greek myth imagined was not a crown of terror. It was something much smarter, because this is where thousands of years of art, film, and games have gotten it completely wrong. Start with the name. Ancient tradition often connects Hades' name with the idea of the unseen. Not the god of death, not the lord of darkness, the one you cannot see. Ancient tradition ties Hades so closely to hiddenness that the helm feels less like an accessory and more like an extension of his identity. Now, the helmet itself. Every game, every movie shows Hades in an enormous spiked metal helmet. Dramatic, cinematic, completely wrong. Not a spiked iron crown. Not a metal war mask. In Greek, this was a kinei, basically a hide cap. Simple, tactical, easy to overlook, which is exactly the point. But here is where it gets truly fascinating. Because the helm did not work like a modern sci-fi cloaking device, bending light, making the wearer optically transparent. The ancient Greeks understood something far darker. According to mythological tradition, the helm wrapped its wearer in Erebos. Erebos wasn't just darkness, it was the void that existed before the gods themselves. When you wore the helm, you were not invisible. You were absent. You carried a portable piece of the realm of the dead into the living world, and reality simply stopped acknowledging you were there. That is why it worked on gods. Erebos did not fool divine perception. It predated it. Not a stealth mechanic, a piece of the void made wearable. Hades did not always use the helm himself. He loaned it out, the ultimate support item, passing it to gods and heroes when the mission demanded it. And every single deployment changed the outcome entirely. 3 missions. Let us run them. Mission 1. Perseus. Gorgon escape. Perseus kills Medusa. Famous strategy. Mirrored shield. No direct eye contact. Clean decapitation. Mission complete. But before the escape, Perseus had to actually acquire the helm, and Hades did not simply hand it over. According to Apollodorus, Perseus was guided by Athena and Hermes to the Stygian nymphs, ancient underworld guardians who protected the gods' most powerful artifacts. Think of it as navigating a high-clearance vault. 2 Olympians as your escort, ancient underworld beings as the security system. At the end of it, a worn leather cap that looked like nothing, but carried the darkness of the void inside it. That is what Perseus carried into Medusa's lair, a piece of the underworld itself, on loan. After the kill, he needed every bit of it. Medusa's sisters, Stheno and Euryale, launch in pursuit, immortal, furious, faster than any human alive. There is no solution that involves a sword. The helm activates. The helm was not the trick that let Perseus face Medusa safely. The mirrored shield handled that. The helm mattered when the kill was done and survival became the problem. Mission 2. Athena and Diomedes. The Iliad. Ares was fighting openly for the Trojans. Loud, visible, dominant. Athena wanted to counter him, but a direct divine confrontation risked shattering the war's entire balance. She needed to move unseen. Homer describes this directly in the Iliad, Book 5. Athena puts on the helm, becomes completely invisible to Ares, and empowers Diomedes to see and strike what mortals normally cannot. Then she points him at Ares, a god, hidden, directing a mortal to fight another god. Pure support tool, not cover for retreat. Cover for an operation no one on that battlefield could detect. When the spear strikes, the god of war does not respond with fury or composure. He panics. Homer writes that Ares screamed with the force of 9 or 10,000 men clashing in battle simultaneously. The sound shook the entire Trojan plain. The literal god of war, reduced to a screaming, panicked wreck because an invisible hand guided a strike he never saw coming. He fled to Olympus to recover. That is the helm's power on full display. It does not just help you win. It makes the most powerful beings in existence look completely helpless. Mission 3. Hermes. Gigantomachy assassination. After the Titans came the giants. A divine prophecy complicated everything. The gods could not kill the giants alone. Mortal assistance was required to land the finishing blow. One target, Hippolytus. Intelligent, watching the battlefield for divine threats. Enter Hermes. Using the helm, Hermes approaches Hippolytus completely unseen, coordinates the strike with the required mortal element, and the mission is over before the giant registers a threat exists. No prolonged engagement, no visible approach, no window to counter or escape. Hippolytus wasn't defeated in battle. He was removed from it. 3 missions, 3 users, 3 different objectives. One result, the enemy never saw it coming. At some point, Hades and the Christian devil started bleeding together visually. Both rule underground realms. Both trend toward antagonist. So artists and game developers gave Hades the devil's weapon. Visually, it lands. Mythologically, it is not the symbol Greek tradition emphasizes most strongly for Hades. This is the bident fallacy. The bident is not the weapon Greek myth emphasizes most strongly for Hades. The helm is. In the earliest major mythic tradition, the item tied to him is invisibility. Not a pronged weapon, not a staff of death. Ancient tradition closely links his name with the idea of the unseen. His power is disappearance. The pitchfork is a costume someone else put on him centuries later. Later art and pop culture made the bident iconic, but that is not the same as making it original. Consider what most modern films do instead. Clash of the Titans gives us Hades materializing in dramatic plumes of black smoke, loud, theatrical, impossible to miss, which completely misses the point. The real Helm has none of that. No smoke, no sound, no entrance. You do not know Hades is there until something has already gone wrong. Now, the bigger picture. The Helm of Darkness is the mythological grandfather of every stealth item in modern fantasy. Tolkien's One Ring, plain, unassuming, carrying an ancient darkness, granting invisibility, draws from this same classical tradition. The rogue class in Dungeons and Dragons, the invisible striker who wins fights before they officially begin, traces its roots directly back here. Every stealth build, every invisibility cloak, every silent assassination mechanic in modern gaming, all of it carries the fingerprint of a worn leather cap from ancient Greece. Supergiant's Hades is one of the most mythologically thoughtful games ever made. In the final boss encounter, Hades deploys the helm mid-fight. He vanishes completely. You are navigating a dangerous encounter against an enemy with no visible location. The developers did not use the helm as a cosmetic nod. They built the ancient mechanic directly into gameplay. The terror of facing something you cannot see becomes something you actually feel, and Percy Jackson treats it seriously too. The helm is stolen. Its theft triggers a genuine divine crisis. Its return carries real weight. Riordan got the hierarchy right. Steal the helm, and you do not just lose an item, you destabilize divine power, because true power is not just the ability to strike, it is the ability to act without being seen. The bolt destroys, the trident overwhelms, but the helm wins the battle before the enemy even knows one has begun. If you want more mythology deep dives like this one, hit like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments, Master Bolt, Trident, or Helm of Darkness, which one are you taking into a cosmic war?